Hello, Sister Grace. How are the rehearsals going?
Captain Kaeya, your bard friend has a few suggestions that are somewhat fanciful in nature.
Fanciful in the sense of not worth adopting? Is that what you mean? Everyone in the choir loves to sing, but they're used to singing their favorite songs. Suddenly asking them to sing in perfect harmony like a church choir with years of experience is just too difficult. So, why ask them to adjust to the demands of those staid old church hymns when you could just create a new song for them? One that they'll be able to grasp quickly? If you want, I could help.
Church choirs typically stick to traditional hymns. This is certainly an innovative idea. What's stopping you from considering it, Sister Grace?
While I don't expect a recently established amateur choir to perform on par with our own church choir, this would be a major departure from tradition. I'm just not convinced that it's appropriate.
Is the Church of Favonius really such a stickler for tradition? Giving believers the chance to express themselves freely seems like it would be a very positive thing. So, Venti, do you think the Animo Archon would like to hear a new melody?
Of course! This was the wish of the people when New Mondstadt was first founded.
Okay, well, let's see what our other friend thinks. Traveler, what are your thoughts? Another vote of confidence. Maybe there's hope for this idea yet.
Maybe it's just a generational thing, but... Oh, well, it's not a completely unreasonable idea. I suppose it can't hurt to try.
Looks like we're all in favor then, so let's start preparing. Sister Grace, could we trouble you to inform the choir members?
Of course. I'll tell them now, and then we'll give this a try.
Should we find some people to help us compose the lyrics? If this is to be a new song of the people, then the more fresh ideas we have, the better.
Good idea. Let's split up and find some contributors, Traveler. Let me think. Since we're composing a song, we should try and recruit at least one person who understands music. Aha, I know. Sister Grace, how would you feel about us asking Sister Barbara to provide her input?
Given that the idea is to write a song dedicated to Lord Barbados, I'm sure Sister Barbara would be very willing.
Perfect. Traveler, why don't you head into the cathedral and invite Sister Barbara to join us? I'll look for another friend who's interested in helping us.
Got it! With this melody, it'll be much more expressive.
Let the wind lead. Traveler, it's been a long time since I last saw you in the cathedral. Fortunately, I have some time to spare at the moment. What is it? Oh, I see! What an interesting idea. The hymns we know today have been passed down to us through the ages. Very few people would ever think to create a new one. But as long as we put our hearts into it, and write with reverence and devotion, perhaps our new song can become part of the tradition that is passed on and bring joy to future generations. I never imagined that the bard would come up with such an amazing suggestion. I'd really love to be a part of this. Sure. Let's go there together right now.
Ah, you're here.
You took your sweet time. Psh, I've seen Kaeya play Genius Invocation TCG, making up a bunch of baloney to distract his opponents. Humph, he's a trickster, plain and simple. So now, I gotta check with you guys to see if what he's saying is true. Can we really write about anything we want in this song? Even the evils of Mondstadt's wine industry? And is the choir really gonna perform it publicly? So everyone on the streets will hear it?
I don't think anything's off limits. I thought it was a fun idea anyway.
Then I want to write this. All booze hounds will be punished harshly by Lord Barbados.
That's a very novel idea indeed.
I'm used to just humming to myself while I work. So after Sister Grace criticized us for not singing in harmony, I was planning on quitting the choir. I never thought we'd be able to just sing what we wanted. Whew, what a relief.
Plus, we get to write a song with Sister Barbara. I'm so honored!
Thank you, everyone. Why don't we start by picking a theme for this song? I agree. Traditionally speaking, the theme should be Praise be to the gentle and loving Lord Barbados.
I expect that Professor Venti might feel that topic is overdone and lacks originality, and that it may not be to Lord Barbados's liking.
That's Kaeya for you. Got it in one. I'd suggest that everyone start by thinking of the little things in life that bring you joy.
Ooh, well then can I praise the perfect fish head soup my mom cooked last night?
Of course you can.
I think I'd like to rejoice in the precious days spent together with family.
Let us praise Mondstadt, the city that allows us to sing freely.
See? Already we have lots of wonderful ideas. Let's write them down, and then Kaeya can... Kaeya?
What are you doing here? Didn't want to participate in the discussions? I just wanted to take you to hear a performance, but that obviously didn't happen thanks to the problems with the choir rehearsals. The rehearsals are now back on track, so I've done my part. If I stay here any longer, I'll probably get roped into singing with them. I'd rather it didn't come to that. My songwriting abilities are limited. If doing nothing but loitering on the plaza enjoying the scenery all day is the only way to relax, then I suppose I didn't get to relax. But that would get boring after a while. To me, it's more fun to wander around, see what's happening, and insert myself into interesting situations. Besides, can you be so sure I didn't have something to gain from helping Sister Grace with her choir rehearsal dilemma these past few days?
Oh, I spy two naughty students skipping class, and they just so happen to be the very two who asked me to help Sister Grace in the first place. We're ready to review and discuss everyone's lyric contributions now. Hey, why is it that you look like you're trying to run away?
I still recall the teachings of Professor Venti. The Animo Archon cares not about how moving the people's songs of praise are, but rather whether or not the song comes from the heart. With so many true believers gathered together earnestly writing a song for him, I'm sure the Animo Archon is watching on and feels very satisfied. That's what a song of worship is all about. So, mission accomplished.
And that's the reason you've decided to leave?
Slipping away before the final verse is sung before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded. I don't know. Something about it just resonates with me. Oh no. You've seen right through me.
Wow, that was a craftily crafted speech. I almost fell for it. But to share all this with a group of friends, only to find myself one friend short before the final verse is sung, before the poet has uttered the last line, before everything has concluded, I don't know. Something about it just irritates me. If you don't want to write a poem, then let me gift you one. Abandoned to whatever fortune the cruel waters bring, bereft of control, directionless I swing. The swift currents surge, and onward I urge, through the snow and frost that fall and winter bring. Majestic waves cresting, surf roaring its tail, none but the ocean to hear as I sing. The stars in my eyes as I chart toward the horizon, that into one day from the endless dome of night I shall spring. If you are a chaser of freedom, the animal Archon will bless you. So why not let those feelings out and sing with everyone?
A boat that has come unmoored will not get lost in the night, but sail towards the dawn. A beautiful image.
Of course, you don't have to believe in it, but the winds of Mondstadt will guide every lost ship back to safe harbor.
Well, after a fine poem like that, it would be plain rude of me not to rejoin you.
Let's head back together. You two, of all people, have to be there for the grand finale.
Wherever in this world I roam, I carry memories of my home.
Gundafar, we are in the middle of a war. Your place is at the front lines by my son's side. Pray tell, what provokes your unwarranted return to the palace?
A matter of utmost importance, Your Majesty, such that I must personally report it to you.
Outdoor theater. Looks fun. Actually, yes. I saw some guards do a musical performance when I was traveling with their caravan in Sumeru. They were desert dwellers. So are these actors. And I think I actually recognize one of them. Come on, let's go watch.
Your Majesty, not only has God bestowed the throne upon you, but your beloved son, Prince Kubad, has led our brave warriors to victory against Frasyav's army. His men have laid down their arms and fled. Frasyav's brazen ambition is no more. He has bowed his head and now presents to your Majesty an offering of treasures and hostages, as well as a plea for peace. My king, this battle has finally restored the dignity of our people. Moreover, with Frasyav's offer of land comes the opportunity to expand our borders, as your Majesty so greatly wishes. His Highness the Prince and I believe this peace settlement will be a great boon to our nation. It is for this reason alone that I have removed my armor and made haste back to our halls from the front lines. My king, what say you to this proposal?
Ah, it's the tale of Prince Kubad. Ever heard this one? Don't worry, I still remember the general plot. Let me fill you in on the background while the king deliberates. The main characters are the brilliant Prince Kubad and his war-hungry father, King Kabus. The one talking to the king right now is Gundafar, the prince's tutor. When the prince was young, the king was deceived by a malicious rumor that the prince had mistreated his stepmother. He demanded that the prince walk through a blazing fire to prove his innocence. Miraculously, the prince emerged unscathed, thus proving his innocence. But the seeds of doubt had already been sown in the king's mind. Now uneasy in the presence of his mistrustful father, the prince requested to be sent away to the battlefield where he would fight against Frasyav's army. That's the enemy general we heard them mention just now. This is the part where the prince has won the war and decided to forge a peace with the rival nation. He wrote a letter recommending peace to his father. Oh, it looks like the king's made up his mind. Let's keep watching.
Frosyav lost because he did not have the blessing of God. Our God will always watch over us and punish our enemies. Once the bells of war have begun to toll, they shall not cease until the blood of our enemies fills the land. There can be no victory until the last enemy soldier has fallen. If Kubad still wishes to be my son and hold the intaglio I bestowed upon him as proof of his royal blood, then he must obey my command.
Your Majesty, I must caution that a nation destroyed is not a fallen city writ large. Now, the loss of one city strikes fear into the hearts of our enemies, compelling them to accept defeat and cede land in exchange for peace. If, however, we insist on bringing a whole nation to its knees, then so long as a single person is left standing, they will see us as their sworn enemy, and one day return to us tenfold the pain that we have inflicted on their nation and family. My king, a people is to their nation as wild grass to the open prairie. Though we burn down the whole field and spare not one blade of grass, roots continue to grow unseen beneath the surface. Come the spring, it is all but inevitable that fresh green shoots will rise up from the ashes.
Cease, Gundafar. Your mind grows dull in your old age, filled with naive delusions. We shall have no more need of you on the battlefield. As for my son Kubad, I will summon him back to the capital so he may be tried by a court-martial.
What are you saying, my noble king? Why must you mistrust your own flesh and blood and sink ever deeper into the blight of hatred? When he was falsely accused, you once doubted his honor and made him walk through a raging fire. Did he not prove himself worthy by emerging unharmed from the flames? Now you would turn me away when I seek only to provide the wisdom of counsel. What is the justification for this?
The justification is that my word, not yours, is the law of the land. Cease and be gone, Gundafar, so you may spend the rest of your days with your wife.
What has become of the king that I served with my life? Fanaticism has robbed him of all reason and wisdom. Peace is surely the most favorable path for our nation, yet he refuses to accept it.
I must think of a way to seize control of the army back from the hands of my wayward son, that they might continue the fight to the end. Perhaps the first task should be this. I shall send a loyal contingent of warriors to eliminate Frosyav and the hostages he has sent to our palace.
Brilliant acting, Darbil.
I saw you approaching us in the middle of the scene. I was worried that my performance would be subpar and you'd think I was just making a fool of myself.
Not at all. Far from it. Actually, let me introduce you. This is Darbil, the actor for King Caboose. When we first got to know each other, he was still a guard for one of the merchant caravans. Seems like he's now made the switch to full-time acting.
Nice to meet you. Any friend of Kaeya's is a friend of mine. To be perfectly honest, I wasn't making all that much as a mercenary. It felt right to me to get away from the danger and live a more stable life. I was already pretty good at telling stories, so I just recruited a few friends and started performing shows all over the country. Full disclosure, we had to put this little stage together using whatever wood and cloth we could borrow. It's really low budget. Anyway, we're all good enough at acting to get through the motions, but none of us are any good at coming up with a script. Everything we tried to write just sounded off somehow. So I got a student from the academia to adapt an old story I knew to make it more appealing to our audience. What do you think? Passable?
I could tell that you've had someone tighten up the lines. They turned out very nicely.
Ah, that's good. Well, as you can see, even now, we still don't have much of an audience. Don't suppose you'd be interested to see the rest of the show?
Sure, why not? I don't have anything pressing lined up. And I don't think the Traveler does either. Tickets for 2, please. How much would that be?
There's no need for tickets. You could just get some food from Jafar Tavern. We've worked out an arrangement with them. We've actually found a sponsor for this performance, too. He's not too happy about the poor turnout, though. I doubt we'll be able to keep him for the next performance. A real pity. But what can you do, huh?
Darbil Asgar still hasn't shown up for the next scene. We should get his costume and sword out so they'll be ready to go the moment he gets here.
My apologies. I have to get ready for the upcoming scene. I'll see you from the stage.
Talk to the bartender if you want a drink.
God only knows. It's not the first time he's done this, either.
Where in the 7 nations is that little twerp? The next scene is about to begin.
Would you two like to order some food? What can I get you? If you're looking for recommendations, today's special is the tandoori roast chicken.
Ah, bear with us a moment. We're just going to take a look at the menu. I was at Port Ormos discussing some business opportunities, and some crook was trying to pull a fast one on me. Darbil took pity on me and politely asked him to make himself scarce. He's a good guy. A decent storyteller, too. Quite an interesting character. There's a lot of fun to be had if you hang around interesting people doing interesting things. Especially if you're in the company of an interesting friend. That's my secret formula for staying in a good mood. Try it out sometime. You'll see what I mean. Thanks for waiting. We're ready to order now. We'll take you up on that tandoori roast chicken. And let's throw in some desserts, too. 1 each of the rose custard, that tulumba, and the patisara pudding, please. That should see us through the show. We've got good seats, close to the stage, but also not too crowded. We can watch the show as we eat. If I remember correctly, the next scene should focus on the prince. but I won't spoil it for you. You have to experience it for yourself. I don't tend to judge a story's worth by my personal affinity for it. But if you want to know my opinion, I'd say it's a fine tale, with a classical flavor that makes it a story for the ages. History always repeats itself. When you keep this in mind and watch out for the echoes of past events in the present, things that appear unfathomable at first glance become much easier to comprehend.
Here you are. The check's on the table, too. Just call me over when you're ready to settle up.
No need. I'll pay up front. Here. Keep the change.
Thank you, sir. Oh, but this is too generous.
Call it a token of my gratitude for the excellent service. The food all smells wonderful, too, so please pass my compliments to the chef.
Thank you so much, sir.
Let's dig in, traveler.
Hey, Kaeya. I'm so sorry, but the actor who plays the prince has run into some difficulties and won't be able to make it. We can't do the rest of the show without him, so I'm really, really sorry, but we'll have to call the show right here.
Ooh, that would be fun. I wouldn't say no. Darbil, would you lose any income if I were to mess this up?
Not really. I mean, there's not much of an audience here anyway. I wouldn't want to take too much of your time, though.
Don't worry about that. I like to be spontaneous now and then. Spice things up a little.
Let me think. Well, you already know the story, so you just need to memorize a few lines. Ha! You know what? This might actually work. Wait, but Kubad has a specific costume he's supposed to wear, and there's no way you'd fit into it. Switching actors is one thing, but wearing street clothes on stage would really ruin the immersion. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna work.
Well, good thing that I've actually got a costume with me. It goes pretty well with your stage, too.
You're kidding. Can you show it to me?
Sure. If you can show me the way to your changing room?
It's in the restaurant. Follow me.
Gotta say, I think I actually look pretty dapper in this. It's a pity I don't have many opportunities to wear it in public. Uh-oh, not a fan of me as a prince? I'll have to act my heart out so you'll be too dazzled to make any digs.
Kaeya, here's your script for the next scene. It's not too long, but you also don't have very long to prepare. Do you think you can memorize your lines in time?
Only one way to find out.
Okay, I think we've covered all your lines and movements on stage. You haven't had long to prepare, so don't worry about forgetting your lines. We'll remind you.
All right, I'm good to go.
Great. Then let's get this show on the road.
General Kubad, son of Kabus, the fate of this battle is clear. I beg you, please spare my few remaining men. They no longer have the strength to fight back.
Frasyav, though you now lead only the husk of a once mighty army, I have no desire to crush your dignity. Even your most savage warriors have no desire to see further bloodshed, and none among your ranks have opposed these peace talks. Nevertheless, I must hear it from you one final time. General Frasyav, do you agree to sign a treaty in good faith and commit from this day forth to peace between our nations?
With my army in ruins, I am in no position to do otherwise, But on this, I give you my word. Yes, let us end our hostilities and send our surviving men home to their families.
We share the desire to lay down our arms for good and liberate our hearts from the dirge of hatred. Then as God above is our witness, by the authority vested in me by this intaglio of King Caboose, I hereby declare that I will spare your hostages and what remains of your army. May peace be restored to this land, and may these fields of war become a place where crops grow aplenty. My tutor, Gundafar, has already made haste to my father, the king, with the recommendation of a truce. It is my sincere hope that he will see that peace as a path to prosperity and grant me his blessing.
Prince Kubad, your name is renowned throughout your land and ours. I will place my hope in your words.
One will find on a battlefield no master of ceremonies, nor the paper on which a treaty may be signed. In their absence, let us raise our weapons and swear an oath. I, Kubad, son of Caboose, hereby pledge protection to you and all of your kin. May the oceans be stained red with my blood if I am ever to renounce this oath.
Wow, your friend is so dreamy. He's not a real prince by any chance, is he? Hey, Rashana, you don't want to miss this. The good-looking guy who left that huge tip is acting on stage with Darble's troupe.
Darble's one lucky man.
I return, Your Highness. I hope I'm not too late. Have you already promised peace to Frasiov?
Nay, I am not so rash as to preempt my father's blessing. I promised only what I could so far, the safety of his kin.
My child, I must share with you the gravest news. Caboose has become blinded by fanaticism and hatred, and will stop at nothing to vanquish every last man under Frasiov's lead.
How can this be? You mean to say that my father has rejected our proposal for peace?
He has indeed. I urged him to reconsider, and for this I was rebuked and dismissed from his service. But far stricter punishment than this awaits you, should you return home with your troops. Please heed my warnings, dear child. I dare not imagine what unspeakable atrocities your father intends to commit.
Nay, the truce must stand. I cannot renounce my oath. How can man claim to stand above beast without remaining true to his word? The masses have grown weary of death and conflict in both our nation and theirs. Are we all now to bend to his will and massacre countless more to satisfy a desire that is his alone? When I departed my beloved home to fight in a foreign land, I did so to honor his wishes and for my duty to our people. Alas, is this fate's grand design? Is this fate's grand design?
Kaeya, the next line is, "Alas, is this fate's grand design, that I should spend the rest of my days in a foreign land, till I am laid to rest in a grave far from home?"
Must it be so?
Huh? Wait, that's not part of the script. Kaeya, did you not hear me?
My dear audience, I ask you this. Do you believe in fate? If fate decreed that your life was to end in tragedy, what would you do? Oh? Then so must it be. Yes, so must it be. I shall discard this intaglio and rid myself of the shackles of fate.
Wait, but that's not... My dear prince, do you intend to betray your father and abandon your heritage?
Fate means to send the machinations of war to every corner of the land, to fan the flames of conflict till they engulf the entire world. Fate would see my sword tainted with the blood of innocence, that the bright banner of my homeland might fly in every nation known to mankind. But I shall not bow to the will of fate. I am no pawn in heaven's plan.
Bravo! Where did this guy come from? Is he one of the new hires?
Shut up! Stop interrupting.
I, Kubad, will spend the rest of my days in a foreign land till I breathe my last in a place far from home.
Oh, at least he brought it back in the end.
Prince Kubad, my child, there is no need to be rash. Please bring at least your fortune and the retainers who will always be loyal to you.
Gundafar, my dear mentor, you have always been like a father to me. It brings me only anguish to bid you farewell. But I must walk this path, or freedom dies by my hand. Goodbye, my tribe and kin. Farewell, sweet land of my birth.
Goodbye, my child.
What you see is what we've got. Feel free to look around.
The show's pretty good. Are you guys professional?
I wonder if I should go strike up a conversation with him.
Ooh, it's Prince Kubad. Could I please get your autograph?
Why, certainly, ma'am.
Ooh, thank you. I'll just go find a pen.
Just an autograph? Well, you can get one of those at any time. Acting is quite fun. If there ever came a day when I left the Knights of Favonius, I think I might go into acting full-time.
Darbil, could you introduce me to this young man?
My apologies, Master Toos. I somehow missed you in the crowd earlier.
I was some distance away. I just came over near the end after I noticed the large crowd gathered around the stage. The performance was outstanding across the board. I knew that the poor turnout over the past few days was just bad luck. It was only ever a matter of time before you hit it big. The improvised section was particularly good. I think you could include some improvisation as a staple in future performances. As for the prop he threw, no need to get it back. It's fairly cheap anyway.
Thank you, sir. And a big thanks also to our wonderful prince. Had Kaeya not agreed to fill in, we might have disbanded right on the spot.
Kaeya, was it? Well, young man, I must say you've made quite the impression on me. My caravan is always loaded with the finest food and wines. You're welcome to visit at any time.
Thank you for the invite, sir, but I'm afraid I've reached the end of my time at Sumeru. I'm sure that my friends and family in Mondstadt must be missing me terribly.
Well then, consider it an open invitation. Once you've been bitten by the travel bug, my friend, you'll be getting itchy feet again before too long. My door is always open. If you're ever interested, please ask Darbil to reach out to me. Darbil, we can continue discussions on the sponsorship once you've wrapped up today's show. I'm going back to the inn.
Thank you so much, Master Toos. I'll see you shortly. Seriously, Kaeya, thank you for bailing me out again. You're a good guy. May the gods bless you. You know, you should stay for a few more days. I owe you a meal at the very least.
Darbil, Asgar is back. He lost track of time playing Genius Invocation TCG. You've got to sort him out.
Genius Invocation again? Ah, that does it. That kid's not getting away with it this time. Please excuse me, Kaeya. I will be right back.
Sure, there's no rush. Okay, I think they're all gone. Let's slip away now while we can. All right, this should be far enough. Don't think they'll find me here. People were starting to expect a lot of things that I didn't sign up for. Besides, the missing actor is back now. Darbil shouldn't be needing me to stand in again. I don't mind socializing, but compared to chatting over food and drink, I much prefer just going wild on the stage. What about you? Did you enjoy the show? Oh? I was expecting a lengthier critique, but you've thrown the question right back at me. Sneaky. All right, I'll rise to your challenge. Let me think. All the world's a stage, and all the people merely players. Does that answer your question? Perhaps there's an inept god out there deciding everyone's fates, much like the academia student drafting Darbil's scripts. Yeah, inept is a good word for it. Honestly, it might even be a little too civil to describe a god who turns fathers against their sons and is bent on endless warmongering, don't you think? Anyway, that's exactly why actors need to wake up and realize they don't have to follow the script. There's nothing to stop them from following their gut and making it up as they go along. Oh, my dear traveler, please don't take me too literally. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. The god is just a figure of speech. The real point I'm making is about the actors. Everyone, you and I included, is both an actor and a member of the audience. If you don't like the script, just walk off the stage and join the audience. You always have a choice. A little too obtuse? Well, don't dwell on it. It's nothing worth losing sleep over. I was just thinking aloud. Relax, be yourself, do your thing. That's all I'm really trying to say. When I did my little bit of audience interaction back there, you had no time to prepare. You had to just say what you thought in the moment. I think those spontaneous thoughts are often the most authentic. And that's why I liked your answer. You're still holding on to the intaglio I threw you from the stage, right? Keep it. Think of it as a souvenir from my improvised performance. It's been the most fascinating day, hasn't it, little birdie?
This scenery is wonderful. Surely enough to convince anyone to become a wanderer.
I follow the wind. Look, Mondstadt's windmills. Ah, such a comforting sight. Now, as promised, your souvenir. Here you go. According to the merchant I bought it from, mysterious spirits called Jinn often live in lamps like this. And this lamp in particular once housed a very powerful genie. Merchants love to exaggerate to help make a sale, but it's still quite the pretty little lamp. I know you like rare things, so perhaps you can add this to your collection. Of course, you can also use it as an ordinary pot. Personally, I think it'd make an excellent wine vessel. You're welcome. I'm glad you like it. I'm ready to head into the city now. You're free to join me, or you can make your own schedule. I could give everyone their souvenirs first, but I'm not sure whether I'm in the mood for running around and visiting people right after the long journey. Maybe I'll take a breather first. But I know I'll only get bored sitting in my room alone. Ugh. Do you have any suggestions? Yes, I suppose. Okay, souvenir run it is. They're mostly people you know, so it'll be a chance for you to say hi to some people you haven't seen in a while. Let's start by going to the Knights of Favonius headquarters. Jean and Lisa will definitely be there, and with any luck, we might run into a few others too.
Clear weather. All around brightens the heart.
Hey, you two busy?
You must have had a tough journey, Kaeya. Oh, it's been a while, cutie. Yes, welcome back, Kaeya. Why is the honorary knight accompanying you? I understand. Back to matters at hand, Kaeya. I have already received your report. You did well this time, thank you. A few days ago, we received a letter from the representative of the Wine Merchants Association in Sumeru. It was thanks to your on-the-spot decisions that further losses, due to continued delays, were avoided.
Just doing my duty. Anything to reduce the acting Grandmaster's workload. Oh, I nearly forgot. I have some unused travel funds. I'll return the surplus now.
Given the suddenness of the situation and the difficulty in resolving it, I authorized a greater than normal disbursement in case of unforeseen circumstances. But I didn't think there would be this much left over. Thank you, Kaeya.
Just doing the right thing. But I'm not actually here for a post-trip debrief. I brought some souvenirs back for everyone.
Souvenirs from Sumeru?
Here, the letter opener is for Jean, the jeweled brooch is for Lisa, and the items in the box are for everyone else.
The artistry of this is exquisite. Look at the ornamentation on the sheath. This must be one of those crafts unique to Sumeru. It's my first time seeing one in person. Thank you, Kaeya. I love the color of the gem in this brooch, and the setting is so elegant. You have excellent taste, Kaeya. This can't have come cheap.
It wasn't too bad. I didn't spend too much.
Might I intrude a moment?
Albedo, is that you? Come in.
I finished the latest quarterly expenses report for the workshop. It's ready for your review. Traveler, greetings.
And Kaeya, welcome back from Sumeru. Haven't seen you in a while. You two look like you're in good spirits.
As a matter of fact, the honorary knight and I traveled back from Sumeru together. Ah, yes, and I brought some souvenirs for you and Klee. They form a set. Hold on, let me dig them out.
You're too kind. Klee has been constantly inquiring as to the timing of your return lately.
Since you weren't around, she thought you had also been grounded, and that it would be a long time before you could come out.
Children always have the most peculiar way of looking at things.
Also been grounded? Sounds like things haven't been too dull for you all in my absence.
It's Klee's third time this month.
Evidently, you're not the least bit surprised.
No. On the contrary, what would be a surprise is if Klee ever managed to stay out of trouble for a substantial length of time.
Anyway, since my souvenir is part of a set with Klee's, there's no rush to give it to me. When Klee's next, released, I'll bring her to see you sometime. We'll collect our souvenirs together.
Sure, makes sense. Leave the surprise for the person who'll enjoy it the most.
I'll leave these documents here. I'll take my leave now, everyone.
Kaeya, I've approved your vacation request. Use this time to relax and unwind. Don't worry about the report and other work. I'll take care of it. You too, Honorary Knight. There isn't any work the Knights of Favonius require your assistance with at this time, so please take it easy.
Thank you. Then we'll be going now.
Enjoy your vacation. But don't forget to return the Fox and the Dandelion Sea series before it's due.
Don't worry, I'm nearly done with those. I'll be able to return them in a few days.
Kaeya is just as thoughtful as always.
Though there's always something to do, with everyone lending a hand, I always feel at ease.
I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. I taught her a few tricks just before I left. Kids will always have their moments of mischief, but to be able to grow up without a worry or care in the world is something truly precious. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of Favonius are with Jean, next up is... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the pretext of delivering souvenirs and try to score some free wine? It's been a long time since I last saw everyone there. Plus, it'll be the perfect time to treat you to some of their newest brews. D-Luke should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after tomorrow, so perhaps it'll be easier to get free wine then. What do you think? When should we go? Great, then it's settled. Let's meet the day after tomorrow at the front entrance of the Dawn Winery. You're more punctual than I expected. Let's head inside.
Master Kaeya? And the Traveler? Welcome, welcome. Please, come in. I'll fetch you both something to drink.
Long time no see, Elzer.
Yes, it's been a while, hasn't it? So what brings you back to the winery this... Sorry. Is there anything I can do for you?
No need to be so formal. I just returned from Sumeru and dropped by to see you all.
Ah, what a pity. Master Diluc went out to handle business last night and hasn't returned yet.
Never mind. The main thing is that you and Adeland are here. Oh, speaking of Adeland, where is she?
She's taking some time off. She was busy cleaning yesterday and finally has a bit of time to herself.
Perfect. I brought some gifts for you both. Here, this belt buckle is for you.
My goodness, it's exquisite. Thank you, Master Kaeya. I'll treasure it. Would you like anything to drink? We recently finished making a new batch of dandelion wine.
Well, what perfect timing. I was just wondering how this year's batch was coming along.
Let me fetch a barrel and have someone deliver it to the Knights of Favonius headquarters for you.
Oh, I won't be needing an entire barrel. A couple of bottles will be more than sufficient. Else Diluc might say I came here to beg.
Oh, Master Diluc might grumble, but he doesn't mean it. Anyway, let me fix you both a drink.
Much obliged. Then I'll have a glass of dandelion wine and a glass of cider lake for him, if you please.
The name is not that literal. It is a drink with virtually no alcoholic content, as Master Kaeya will be aware. I'll prepare them now. Please, wait a moment.
Strictly speaking, that's not entirely true. Cider Lake does have a tiny amount of alcohol in it.
Please, enjoy. Pleased you liked it. Looks like my bartending skills haven't faded with age.
How have you been recently? Is the winery's business doing well?
To tell you the truth, we've had our work cut out for us recently trying to fulfill some major orders. Things have only just started to quiet down over the last couple of days.
So, you've had no time off lately?
Master Diluc was concerned about the same thing. But with him being out on business for a few days, who would take care of business and the guests if I were to take time off? Maybe some other time.
At least take half a day to see a doctor and make sure you're okay. If your condition worsens, Diluc will never forgive himself.
You make a fair point.
If you're worried about having someone to handle the winery, why not leave it to me? I'm familiar enough with your responsibilities to cover for you for a while.
Master Kaeya, Please, come back to the winery more often. We all miss you very much.
All right. No need for that kind of talk. Come on. I'll see you out.
While I'm resting, I shall leave Dawn Winery in your hands.
Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. Rest easy, and go see the doctor. Such great weather today. A calm breeze and delicious wine. This is quite the treat. Though, it's a pity this batch seems a bit bland. How about I go to the wine locker and fetch one from the reserve collection? I remember it's on the second floor. Of course it's fine. I promised Elzer I'd help. I said nothing about leaving the wine alone.
Sorry, I'm a little late to the welcome party, but I believe I just heard the words wine locker and reserve collection. Planning on pilfering a bottle of reserve, Master Kaeya? The reserve collection is reserved for a reason, you know. You should at least run it past Master Diluc first.
Oh, Adeland, surely you misheard. We were simply taking a walk around the house.
I see. Anyway, what brings you and the traveler to the winery today?
We just returned from Sumeru. It's been a while, so I thought we might drop by and say hello. And perhaps enjoy a complimentary drink while we're here. Surely you wouldn't object, Adeland.
How could I object? We're simply happy that you've come back to see us.
Oh, Adeland, I also brought some gifts for you all. This bottle of essential oil is for you. If you rub it on your hands when it gets cold, your skin won't crack.
Oh my! I can't believe you remembered something like that.
Of course I remember. You always took such good care of me when I fell sick as a child. In comparison, this is nothing.
You're all grown up now, and you don't get sick nearly as easily. You don't need me to look after you anymore.
True, I don't get sick as much. But speaking of being looked after, when I was in Sumeru, I did find myself and my stomach missing your cooking so terribly.
Oh, are you hungry? Would you like to eat something? You too, traveler. Please tell me if there's anything you'd like to eat.
Well, now that you mention it, I do actually feel a bit peckish.
Steak?
Oh, yes. A nice steak would really hit the spot.
Fragrant cedarwood grilled, medium, stewed vegetables on the side?
Yes, just like you always used to make. Thank you kindly, Adeland.
My pleasure. Traveler, I'm sorry I'm not familiar with your preferences. Would you like to come with me and select a few dishes? Grilling the steak over fragrant cedarwood infuses it with more flavor than pan-frying it. It's a favorite of Master Kaeya's. Since using an open flame to grill indoors is somewhat inconvenient, we usually set up a grill outdoors. It's perfect for grilling meat, but you can also use it to make stews. I can offer you a satisfying salad, cold cut platter, and anything stewed. What would you prefer, traveler? Okay, right away. Master Kaeya really likes stewed vegetables, but it takes the most time. So I'll start making that first and then prepare your meal once that's underway. Of course! I looked after him and Master Diluc when they were growing up. He wasn't always such a complicated character. He was a gentle child, polite and very sweet. Boys, huh? The gentle ones grow up to be wild, and the rambunctious ones become quiet and reserved. At least that's my experience. If there's anything you don't understand about Master Kaeya and his antics, please feel free to talk to me about it. His temperament has changed quite a lot over the years, but he still has a lot of the endearing qualities I remember. Kaeya is much savvier and more mature than he used to be. Goodness knows he could be tricky to deal with. But let me share a few little tips. When he answers your question with a question, stop and think carefully about what he wants you to believe, and don't be led on by him. As for not knowing what he's up to, that's because he loves making up a good cover story. But don't let him get to you too much. You can take it from me. You were drinking a cider lake just now, right? Do you know why it's called that? The name was coined by none other than Master Crepus when he mixed the drink for Master Kaeya himself. Oh, they were adorable when they were young. One time, the winery was hosting a banquet, and Master Crepus strictly forbade Master Diluc from drinking. Master Diluc wasn't happy about that, and he convinced Master Kaeya to team up with him and sneak into the wine cellar to steal some dandelion wine. And how did I find this out? Because when Master Kaeya attempted to distract me, I could clearly see Diluc hiding around the corner of the corridor, gesturing to Master Kaeya to direct him through the whole thing. The Captain Kaeya of today never bats an eye when he lies, but he wasn't like that at all when he was young. Oh, goodness, how did I get into this? Anyway, they were discovered by Master Crepus in the end, and he was furious. He punished Master Kaeya by making him write lines, and Master Diluc was forced to clean the wine barrels in the cellar. Oh, the wine cellar had over a dozen large wine barrels to scrub, and Master Diluc was just a child. There was no way he could finish it all by himself. Master Crepus really meant to teach him a lesson. I'd originally planned to secretly finish off the work for him, but when I peeked inside the cellar, I found that Master Kaeya was already there. He and I finished scrubbing the remaining barrels when Master Crepus saw that the bruises on Master Kaeya's hands were even darker than those on Master Diluc's hands. He instantly understood the situation. Master Crepus wasn't stern by nature, so to comfort Master Kaeya, he mixed him a drink and added a few drops of alcohol just so he could have a little taste. So you see, Kaeya was a gentle child and never one to boast about the things he did for other people. Sometimes he'd even deny it if asked. His friends have a special place in his heart, even if he keeps this to himself. Kaeya's quite a smooth talker these days, but I can tell that his habit of quietly helping others hasn't changed. Ah, good. Okay, the stew is nearly ready, but the meat and the other dishes will need a moment. Please wait at the table. I'll be over shortly. You're not worried that I can't handle it by myself, are you? Relax. Serving meals is all part of my job as a maid. I can manage.
Drinking fine wine, eating Adeline's steak? Ah, now this is what I call a vacation. Oh? What has Adeline been telling you? So she told the good stories. Well, shucks. Now I'm embarrassed.
Food's ready. I hope you're hungry. I made a little extra, given how long it's been since you were last here.
Oh, we never imagined there would be such a magnificent feast. You've really outdone yourself. Why don't you sit and eat with us this time?
If you keep chatting away, the food will get cold. I'll wait here. Please call me if you need anything.
I'm afraid that just won't do, Adeline. I'm serious. We get together so rarely. Can't you bend the house rules just this once? After all, I don't live here anymore, so I'm just a regular guest. You aren't going to refuse your honored guest this small request, are you?
Since it's you, Master Kaeya, I see no choice but to honor your request. I know that us sharing a meal is a sign of our close relationship, but this is technically against the rules for a maid, so please forgive me for rebuffing you at first. I didn't mean to sound rude. Traveler, given how petty Master Kaeya can be, it must be hard for him to make friends. Does he have any friends in the Knights of Favonius?
See? I do have a way with people. And now I have him here to back me up.
Hello, everyone. Pardon me, but is this Dawn Winery? I'm Guangzhe, a guard with the Secure Transport Agency under the Leo Communications Office. Here's my card.
No wonder Elzer felt so strongly about staying. He certainly wasn't kidding about how busy it is. Mr. Guangzhe, a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
The pleasure is all mine. The Secure Transport Agency has worked with your fine establishment in the past, though we have only corresponded through letters. I always found it a great pity that I, the overseer of our cooperation, have never had the occasion to visit in person.
Why don't we go inside to discuss the details? No doubt the conversation will flow better with some of our wines to taste. Adeline, we'll continue our discussion later. Could you fetch some apple cider for the three of us?
Certainly, Master Kaeya. Please wait a moment.
And how might I address you, sir, as well as your...
Just Kaeya is fine. I'm standing in today for Elzer, who usually manages the winery's business. And this is my good friend.
A pleasure to meet you as well. I'm not just here today to pay a visit. I actually have an invitation for Master Diluc to cut the ribbon at a ceremony to celebrate our agency's business. Our collaboration with Dawn Winery last year was quite successful, and I was curious about your product shipment plans for the next quarter. If it's no trouble, please, also mention to Master Diluc that our agency has expanded this year, so if the winery has any additional needs, please consider us.
Master Kaeya, the apple cider you requested.
Master? Wait. Pardon my foolishness, but might I inquire as to your relation to Dawn Winery?
I'm Master Crepus's adopted son, and Master Diluc's brother. However, as a serving captain with the Knights of Favonius, I am rarely at the winery.
My mistake. I apologize for not realizing earlier. I do hope I have not done you a discourtesy.
You may have misunderstood, Mr. Guangzhe. Though I am Master Diluc's brother, I don't actually live at Dawn Winery. I'm also a guest here today. I'm merely here receiving guests due to Elzer being temporarily indisposed. But please, don't worry. I will be sure to extend your invitation to Master Diluc.
Thank you for your graciousness. I knew the Dawn Winery's wines were delicious, but I am only now discovering how wonderful the apple cider is. It has a clear and inviting fragrance.
In addition to the apple cider, the winery has an extensive collection of reserve wines and liquors. I see you are also a connoisseur of fine wines, so it would be a shame not to sample some. Adeline, please fetch a bottle from the reserve collection in the second floor wine locker.
As you wish, Master.
Thank you again for your most gracious hospitality. Today's trip was very fruitful. Now, allow your humble servant to take his leave.
Please, it was a pleasure. Here's hoping we'll have a chance to share some more fine wines together in the future.
The guest has left, Master Kaeya. It's no skin off my nose. Master Diluc may have a few choice words when he learns of the situation, but that's all. All I really wanted to say is, you will always be a part of the Dawn Winery family, Master Kaeya. I have never considered you an outsider. No matter when, if you ever feel tired, you'll always be welcome here.
I understand, Adeline. Oh, now this is a busy day. Who's at the door this time?
Hello, everyone. I'm back.
Now that was fast. How are you feeling?
The doctor said there was nothing to worry about. I just need some rest. But on the way back, I met someone who was looking for Master Kaeya.
Kaeya! Shh! Klee's here to rescue you! Come on! Let's escape! Mr. Honorary Knight! Are you grounded with Kaeya too?
Grounded? Yes, Albedo was saying something about that. Sumeru was fun, but it can't compare with Mondstadt. So here we are.
You two must have done something to make Jean mad, but that's okay. Kaeya has rescued Klee loads of times before, so when Albedo told me you came back, I went and said sorry to Jean. Kaeya, you're free now! We can go play together again!
Oh, if my memory serves me correctly, this child is...
This is a fully qualified Knight of Favonius, Klee.
Hello, miss. I'm Klee. We're sorry. Please don't ground Kaeya.
What?
I really need to take Kaeya and Mr. Honorary Knight away, so we can go find Albedo, Sucrose, Amber, and everyone else and play together.
I see. Hello, Miss Klee. You needn't worry. Master Kaeya's grounding is long over.
See, Adelind, you don't need to worry about me. I have lots of people to care for me now. I'm surprised Klee still hasn't escaped. I taught her a few tricks just before I left. Kids will always have their moments of mischief, but to be able to grow up without a worry or care in the world is something truly precious. Well, now that all the gifts for the Knights of Favonius are with Jean, next up is... Ooh, how about we visit the Dawn Winery under the pretext of delivering souvenirs and try to score some free wine? It's been a long time since I last saw everyone there. Plus, it'll be the perfect time to treat you to some of their newest brews. Diluc should be there tomorrow since he has business to deal with. But then there's nothing scheduled for the day after tomorrow, so perhaps it'll be easier to get free wine then. What do you think? When should we go? That works. Then I guess we'll see Diluc. Let's meet at the front entrance of the Dawn Winery tomorrow.
one with nature.
You made it. Come on, let's go inside. Brace yourself for some sour grapes.
If you're not feeling well, then let me go this time.
Oh, I'm fine. It's not serious.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important.
What are you doing here today? And I see you've brought a +1.
Oh, it's nothing particularly pressing. It's just that we recently returned from Sumeru, and given how long it's been since we last visited the winery, we thought we'd drop by and say hello.
Is that it? Make yourselves comfortable then.
Oh, do you really mean that? Because my definition of comfortable happens to involve prodigious amounts of your finest wines. Speaking of which, I'm curious where you store the wine these days. Is it the same place as it always used to be?
Sounds like you're in a hurry to reach your goal. Been plotting this raid for a long time?
Plotting a raid? Why, you misunderstand me. The truth is, a rumor happened to reach my ears recently. My informants tell me that last month, the Dawn Winery spent a large sum of mora on 2 bottles of limited edition Northland Valberry liquor. However, it turns out that they were likely just cheap knockoffs masquerading as the real thing. Of course, a teetotaler like yourself would struggle to tell the difference. So why not get a connoisseur to help you appraise the quality? Oh, wait. But the sterling reputation of Dawn Winery is at stake. Why, if you really purchased bootleg liquor, that would be scandalous. Better to have unknown and insignificant alcohol aficionados do the taste test for you, to prevent word getting out.
Quite the story. You used that one last year. Got anything else?
What? Really? I totally forgot. In that case, how about the principle of reciprocity? Here, this is for you. I bought it for you in Sumeru, and it cost a veritable mountain of mora.
Thanks. Put it on the table.
That's it? No comment whatsoever?
You want a comment? Okay then. This thing is very in line with your unique aesthetic tastes. Much like that vase over there. Elzer, fetch a bottle of this year's newest batch from the warehouse, or else someone will keep blathering on with endless excuses.
One moment, Master Kaeya. I shall fetch it immediately.
What's wrong, Elzer? Are you okay?
My throat is a bit raspy is all. It got better after I began taking medicine, but recently it flared up again. Other than a bit of difficulty breathing now and then, it's nothing to be concerned about.
Many illnesses are caused by overwork. If you don't get enough rest, medicine alone won't solve the problem. Surely you should have long since handed over the work of the winery to Diluc by now. You can't keep being Diluc's butler. He's becoming a louse.
Actually, most of the time he...
Take some time off, Elzer. Don't put it off any longer. I'll handle the guild matters. It's important to take care of your health. You have to take it seriously. And, cavalry captain, you would do well to remember that brevity is the soul of wit.
Master Diluc, Master Kaeya, thank you both. Then I'll take my leave and rest for a few days.
Enjoy your vacation. Though, before you officially clock out, let me head out the door with you. We can grab a few bottles on the way. There's nothing quite like enjoying a quality wine while feeling the gentle breeze against your face. Ah.
Normally I'd accompany you, but unfortunately I still have some pressing matters to take care of. My apologies and regards to both of you.
Really? Oh, that's a shame.
I asked Connor to select a bottle of our best. He'll bring it by shortly.
You asked Connor?
He hasn't seen you in a while. He's just happy to be able to do this for you.
Considerate as ever. Ah, Elzer, I also brought you a gift. Here, this belt buckle's for you.
Such artistry. Thank you very much indeed. I'll put it on as soon as I get home.
Glad you like it. Go on, enjoy your time off. And don't forget to see a doctor.
Very well, Master Kaeya. I'll be taking my leave now.
Elzer is a good guy, and he's very responsible. But with 1,000 different things to worry about each day, that same sense of responsibility wears him down.
Master Kaeya, your wine and an apple cider for your friend. All freshly fermented this year. Please, have a taste. Traveler, this one's for you.
Oh, very clear. And a full-bodied aroma. That's rather nice.
Isn't it? This one's a little on the sweeter side, but I can go grab a dry one if you'd prefer.
No need. Sweet is just fine. Let's drink one together.
Don't mind if I do. I haven't caught up with you like this in a long time. We used to always pour the first glass for you when cracking open a new barrel. With you gone these past few years, I've had to drink it for you.
Well, since it wasn't me harvesting the grapes, de-stemming, or crushing them, it's much more fitting that you should take the first taste.
It's an important step in the winemaking process. After harvesting the grapes, the stems have to be removed prior to fermentation, or they'll affect the quality. If you'd like, Traveler, you can help us harvest some grapes. Winemaking can be quite a lot of fun.
It isn't nearly as exciting as he makes it sound. Your back will be in so much pain after picking grapes that you won't be able to stand up straight.
Master Kaeya is right. Harvesting grapes is a back-breaking labor. But seeing the grapes turn into grape juice, then ferment into wine, it's a fascinating experience. And every person at the winery should have a chance to share in it.
Wait, so Diluc actually helps you with the winemaking?
Oh, goodness no. Master Diluc is far too busy, not just during the day, but even at night.
Oh? And just what is Diluc always so busy with?
Well, you know, come nightfall, he's always out there, networking, and so on. Master Kaeya, you may be surprised to learn just what lengths Master Diluc is willing to go to for the sake of the business.
Connor, you're an awful liar. I hate to see you struggle.
Oh, so Master Kaeya, how do you like your drink? I remember you weren't very interested in wine when you were young.
That was because the adults said children weren't allowed even a drop. Don't you remember how much trouble Diluc got in that time he snuck a drink?
Ah, yes, of course. Adeland even covered for the two of you.
But on a serious note, having grown up at a winery, I spent my childhood watching Tunner plant the grape seeds, waiting for them to ripen on the vine, harvesting them together, and waiting for the alcohol to ferment. Even though I couldn't help with making distilled spirits, watching everyone work was fascinating. How could anyone not love to drink with a childhood like that? So, let us raise a glass to wine itself, and in thanks to the gracious hospitality the winery has shown us today.
Here, here, to Dawn Winery.
Speaking of wine, Connor, I have a gift for you. It's a decanter set from Sumeru.
I get a present too? Thank you, Master Kaeya. Time really does fly. I still remember the days when everyone was giving you gifts at your birthday parties when you were young. Now I have wrinkles and Tunner's bent double, while Master Kaeya is the cavalry captain of the Knights of Favonius.
How is Tunner holding up?
He's still tough, but getting on in years, so some things just aren't as easy as they were. But he's used to doing things his way and doesn't trust new employees to do it for him. A lot of the temporary workers I hired quit because they couldn't handle how picky he was. Master Kaeya, if you have time, why not go talk to him about it? You're probably the only person he'll listen to besides Master Diluc.
I definitely owe him a visit. I haven't seen him in some time, and I do have fond memories of the days when he was teaching me to pick grapes.
The art of winemaking is fascinating. Would you like to try and learn?
Busy day today, Tunner?
Oh, Master Kaeya, you're back. No, I'm not at all busy. I just spend my hours watching the grapes growing on the vine. They're growing wonderfully this year. A few rows are almost ripe. We've already begun harvesting them these past few days, so that'll keep me occupied. Sit. After we're done picking, I'll bring a few bunches over for you to try.
No need. We were just drinking with Connor, and our stomachs are so full of wine that we couldn't eat a bite.
What about your friend? Doesn't he want to try?
Allow me to introduce the honorary knight of the Knights of Favonius.
Ah, the honorary knight in the flesh. There are so many talented people in the Knights of Favonius. You all have bright futures ahead of you.
Harvesting grapes is hard work. Let me help you. Do you still remember how I used to help out when we were short-handed?
I believe I do. In that case, I'm counting on you. What's this? Everyone's clamoring to do manual labor? Well, suits me. More help is always appreciated. Come with me, young lad. I'll tell you which grapes are ripe enough, and you can pick them. Happy to have another helper. Now, let's go pick some grapes. Ooh, you have nimble hands, lad. Master Kaeya wasn't nearly so careful when he was young. He mangled so many his first time. What a waste. Fortunately, the young master has a good head on his shoulders. Didn't take long for him to get up to speed. And now he's turned into such an outstanding young man. Polite and kind. If I had a son as exceptional as Kaeya, oh, I would be the happiest man in Mondstadt. There's a few more rows of grapes up ahead. Let's finish picking them together. Careful not to damage the grapes when you pinch the stem. These grapes look excellent. You're a fast learner. I'll take them. Good job. Master Kaeya left the winery and moved to Mondstadt. Just like my own son, Guy. He left home to join the Knights of Favonius, too. I don't know him like Miss Adeline or Master Diluc do, but I know that no matter how old your child gets, they always need a home they can come back to. And without family by your side, you at least need the companionship of friends. I've been working here for decades and watched him grow up with my own 2 eyes. Sometimes I get the sense that there is something bothering him, something deep-rooted. But he guards his secrets closely. Or perhaps he just doesn't want to involve us. After all, I doubt that we could help him. I can see that you have a good relationship with Master Kaeya. Please look after him. He's very dear to us. Hearing that puts my mind at ease. You're a good child. Thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Knowing that he has a friend like you, we here at the winery can be happy for him.
You're looking very happy, Tunner. Was the traveler telling you some jokes?
No jokes. I've received a letter from my son, Guy. He's really going places. I'm so delighted. Master Kaeya, honorary knight, my eyesight is fading in my old age. Could you read it out for me?
Of course.
Thank you both.
There are leaves around, and I know just the tune to accompany them, if you wish to hear it.